Hello everyone, I'm joined by Omar from Citizens TV, who's good enough to return to the studios post-match after the 1-0 draw. Omar, you weren't the most optimistic in the build-up to the game. I haven't seen the game now. You must feel like you actually probably could have come away with 3 points.
Yeah, either team could have, to be honest. But yeah, it was a much better performance than I anticipated. And yeah, it's just a very, very good performance from Manchester City. And we needed a response after Monaco, and we got it. And yeah, I mean, after our defeats that have been a bit more of a sort of an embarrassment for us, which Monaco was a bit of, people sort of taking the piss a bit. And it was, after like Everton and all that, so we've pulled out some good performances, So yeah, I thought it was a good performance. And to be honest, like either team could have won it, but I felt it was a performance that was very, very encouraging. It's like a lot of big games this season. This is a transitional season for us, so.
Is it? Pep Guardiola described it as one of the best days of his life.
I thought you might get onto that. I think, well, Pep's a guy that's been very encouraging with us this season. He's been like a lot of positivity. He's not really come out and been critical of anyone this season. And look, I think it's a case of if he comes out after this game and says, he could have scored this or could have done that a bit better, it sort of detracts a bit from what was a very good performance and a big step up. If he comes out and is a bit more critical, then that could demoralise the players a little bit. Mm-hmm. And this makes him feel a bit more proud. And of course, I'm sure it's not the proudest day of his managerial career, but it's going to give them encouragement to do that again.
It's a bit Brendan. I'm just saying. I know what you mean. Look, I think things get taken out of context. I like Klopp's response to it, where he basically said, "Well, he's Spanish, isn't he? They're much more emotional people than the Germans." So yeah, you know what I mean. And I get that. I think people are looking for reasons to. People like just something to get the claws into. I thought, and I'll be perfectly honest, I really enjoy our games against Man City, and it's a shame because going back to 13-14, obviously you ended up winning the league. I really hoped at the time that we were going to see a few years of that on the bounce. Now, obviously, Liverpool were just so poorly handled in terms of transfers and where the money was spent, and even maybe Brendan Rodgers wasn't the right man. He shouldn't have been backed as well as he was. I'd like to see us get back to that because there's very rarely a game between Liverpool and City in the last few years that hasn't been massively entertaining. Yeah, more so for us in the last 2 seasons, really. But you know what I mean. And I think this game,
League Cup finals, all right.
Well, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But these are the points. Is that these games, the 2 teams that have a very, I think, have the right attitude. I think they have the right approach to how football should be played. And I think it's a credit to the Premier League when these teams go head to head because, as I say, they produce entertaining footy.
Yeah, I'd probably say the 2 best attacking teams in the league. I think you can maybe make an argument for Spurs in there, but certainly at least in the top 3. And yeah, we both go about football in the right way. You were a lot more open than you were at Anfield, and credit to you guys. You came and when you got the league, you didn't sit back. Yeah. And in the end, I think maybe that might have been your undoing in a sense. But you sense we were tiring, and I think maybe we just sort of took the tempo down a bit in terms of our game, and then that allowed us to be able to come back and have a bit more energy later on in the game. Let
me know, what was you feeling when Roberto Firmino pulled it back for Adam Lallana? You must have thought, that's it.
To be honest, when I was in the ground, I didn't think it was as bad as it was. But to be honest, every time you attacked in that second half, especially after the goal, I had anxiety. Well, I did.
We all too.
Lethal on the break, and you've got a lot of very, very good attackers. But it was only when I was watching the highlights back that I realised that was actually a horrendous miss. But look, that's 9 times out of 10. Lallana, gets a solid connection on that, and it's in. Fortunately, it was the 1 time out of 10 for us.
And again, similarly, we mentioned it before we started filming, Sergio Aguero at the other end. You're putting your house on him, sticking that away. So I think both teams ultimately, City dominated the possession, but I think in terms of efforts on goal and whatever, it was a very, very even match. And either side, if either side gets the decisive goal, I almost think both teams could go, you know what, fair play.
Yeah. I think it's one of those, I'll say that I think we were the better team, and of course, Liverpool fans probably say, you probably say Liverpool were the better team, but it was a great game. I mean, whilst we're watching it, kind of hard to appreciate that because it was very tense.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a really, really good game. I'm pretty happy with the point. I mean, before the game, I'd have taken the point. Maybe after that, I was a bit disappointed we couldn't win it. But the point is, hardly the worst result in the world for either team. Probably benefits us slightly only because we have 1 point more than you in general classification.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanks very much for coming on and giving your thoughts. I'll be over on Omar's channel giving some more of my thoughts on the game. If you want to watch that, please do. Click the link. Make sure you subscribe to Citizens TV and, of course, Redmen TV as well. But, yeah, hopefully you'll see it over there on the channel for more amazing Liverpool Man City chat.